One of the most significant trends worldwide is the increase in human longevity, driven largely by improvements in public health, nutrition, and medical technology. To put this in context, the human lifespan has increased by 20 years since 1950. Now, this is a better increase or a bigger increase in the last 60 years than have been experienced in the previous 6,000 years. To add further weight to this, there are currently 600 million people alive right now over the age of 65. This is 50% of all humans who have ever reached the age of 65. Over the next 20 years, we anticipate that this number will increase to 1.1 billion. The UN itself anticipates that over the next 50 years, human lifespan will increase by 1.2 years per decade. That is to say, a child born 50 years from now is likely to live 66 years longer than one born today. The Sanlam research has actually illustrated this point by finding that the average normal retirement age has been decreasing over time, whereas one would expect that with the increases in human longevity, that age should be increasing. Now, as an industry, we need to step back and question whether this is moving in the right direction, because the demographic trend is actually indicating that we're actually instituting the wrong practices. In South Africa, we need to take into account the effect of longevity in the retirement context, because the structures, tools, and projections we've been using to plan for retirement may become increasingly obsolete as the goalposts change due to increases in longevity. Now, we must acknowledge that not all South Africans currently benefit from this increase in longevity. It's typically limited to those of us who are able to enjoy a developed world level of access to nutrition, healthcare, and lifestyle. Typically your middle income sector and above. To illustrate that point, the average life expectancy in South Africa as it stands is about 50 years. Were it not for the impact of HIV/AIDS, which affects predominantly the poor, this life expectancy would be in the region of 70. Now, with the impact of ARVs being taken into account, recent evidence suggests that an HIV positive person who actually is on the ARV treatment in time stands to live almost as long as an HIV negative individual, in fact to within 3 years of normal lifespan. This development brings the topic of longevity firmly onto the radar screen for the poor in South Africa as well. So as a nation, our lifespan increase is likely to proceed at a faster rate than other developing countries, because the impact of HIV will be mitigated to a much larger extent as we move forward. The impact of increased longevity has a direct impact on retirement savings, retirement planning, and our lifestyles in retirement. Because as South Africans, not only shall we live for far longer than our predecessors, we shall be far healthier for far longer as well. This means that retirement may not be what it once was. It's not a case of 5 to 10 years in retirement. It may be a new normal of 20 to 30 years in retirement. So as a retirement industry, we need to consider the impact of the decisions we make, the structures we put in place on a society that is going to live for far longer than we've actually planned for. To an individual, or on an individual basis, we are facing shifting goalposts. In the sense that the future that we are planning for may be very different to the one that we'll actually experience due to the changes in medical technology that will extend our lives.